Good morning, everyone. Today's my birthday, and I can't think of a better way to enjoy it than hiking the Appalachian Trail. I slept very comfortable in the October Mountain Shelter last night. I didn't tent. The tenting sites were very limited there, and all the good ones had been taken. So I stayed inside the shelter. It was relatively mosquito-free, and the good news is my air mattress held air. I neglected to mention yesterday that I found a good deep stream and leak tested my air mattress during the day and didn't see any air bubbles, and which I thought was really odd. So I had developed a theory that maybe the leak was coming from behind the previous patch that I put on my air mattress, and it was coming out just slow enough and that there weren't any bubbles. And so I placed a larger patch over top of the smaller patch and tested it out last night, and it held air all night long. So I'm thinking my theory was correct. So that was a good birthday present, if you will. The fact that I didn't have any leaks and I slept comfortably. Today is going to be a short day. I'm going to the town of Dalton, Massachusetts for a resupply and a Nero. I'm going to spend the night there. It's my birthday, so I'm hoping to get a good meal in a restaurant, and I'll spend the night. And the added benefit is it's going to rain tonight, and there are no shelters between here and after really until you get to Vermont. There's campsites, but in order to avoid having to pack a wet tent, I'm gonna stay inside tonight. Anyway, that's today's plan. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's cool. It's not supposed to get too hot. There's a nice breeze. Should help keep the bugs down. And we should have one hill to climb on the way to Dalton. Thanks for joining me, everyone. So it is a uneventful morning so far, and for much of the day it's likely going to be an uneventful walk. And so I thought I would take a moment and just share a little bit of insight into my hike and why I don't slack pack. Now, for those that aren't familiar with the term, Slack packing is when you carry less than a typical pack weight, something similar to a day hike pack, or less. Sometimes or oftentimes for a fee, or there can be times where a trail angel or someone offers to assist you with a slack pack. And so essentially, during a slack pack, you either carry your pack but leave a majority of contents behind, or you borrow a smaller pack and then you place only the items that you think you'll need for that day in the pack to carry with you. And the way they typically work is you are shuttled to a point, you are dropped off, you hike with your slack pack to a pre-designated location where you are then picked up, and sometimes it's conducted in conjunction with a hostel stay or something, and then you retrieve your items and either return to the trail with your full pack, but some folks can slack pack for multiple days. So with that, I don't slack pack. Now, I don't look down upon people who do slack pack, because let's face it, there are multiple ways to hike this trail, and it's called a Thru-Hike, not a through backpack. So the only qualification or pre-qualification for completing this trail is that you walk it, regardless of how much or how little weight you carry. Technically, you could carry no weight at all, walk the entire length of the Appalachian Trail, and complete it. So, again, I don't look down on people that do slack pack. So why do people slack pack? People could slack pack for a variety of reasons. Sometimes a hiker may want to do it purely out of convenience. They're fatigued, or there's a particularly steep or difficult section of trail, and so they might opt to slack pack to give themselves a bit of a break, make it easier on them, or what have you. So there is a convenience factor. There can be a mental factor, meaning where you're not physically beat, but possibly mentally fatigued, because this is a rugged event, and having a bit of a break, I could imagine, would lift your spirits a bit and reinvigorate you for future days. Because I have heard from people that have slack packed how much they enjoy it. So I think there could be a mental factor to it. A physical factor could also be injury or recovery from an injury. So let's say someone has a foot, knee, other lower extremity injury. They've rested it for a while. They want to test it out on the trail. They might consider a slack pack to ease back into the hike. And I get it. And there may be other reasons why someone may choose to slack pack. In addition to just maybe that's how they want to hike it. Maybe they have the budget and the time, and maybe that's their desire to complete a slack pack. And of course, physical limitations may play into that as well. If someone has a particular disability, or lingering condition that prevents them from carrying a larger pack. So all reasons why someone may slack pack. Now, why don't I slack pack? I don't slack pack really for two reasons. One is I set a goal for myself, sort of as a purist approach, that my Thru-Hike would be a northbound hike where I walk in one continuous direction, which means I don't flip-flop, but also sticking to the white blazes, but also carrying my pack with me and its contents with me during the entire duration, which includes the 10 essentials. Now, I have presented a couple of times now on the 10 essentials, which are those items that you should have with you anytime you go into the back country, based on contingencies and emergencies or situations that may arise. And these include things such as a flashlight or a headlamp, a type of shelter, extra clothing, extra food, extra water, sun protection or other protection, fire making materials, a repair kit, and I'm doing this while walking, so not sure if I've forgotten anything from that list, but I have other videos out there, and there are other videos by other people that provide content on the 10 essentials. But the 10 essentials are in my pack, which brings me to the second reason why I don't slack pack. So the first reason, I made a goal to myself to carry my pack during the entire duration of my Thru-Hike. My second reason is the 10 essentials. If you recall, early on in my hike, when I was on Standing Indian Mountain, I encountered a day hiker who was lost, disoriented in terms of where their location was. It was getting cold at night, and there was a probable, I would say highly probable, risk to her safety because she didn't have the 10 essentials with her on her day hike. By the time I had found her, she had depleted her water, so she had no backup water, no filtration system, no shelter, no extra clothing to prepare her for the conditions, no fire making materials, no headlamp. The only navigation equipment that she had was her phone, which she had almost depleted in terms of battery, with no battery backup, and so on. And so if she would have had the 10 essentials, she would have been better prepared for this situation. And since she did not have them, we had to evacuate her. So anyway, if you slack pack, it's highly probable that you are not bringing with you the 10 essentials. And I do believe that the 10 essentials are important. I believe it's important to plan for contingencies. It becomes a risk decision, and someone who slack packs might consider, well, am I really in the back country because maybe I'm in close proximity to a town, or maybe the distance isn't that long, and what have you. I'm going to be picked up in a couple hours. All I got to do is follow the white blazes, whatever reason that they might justify to themselves not to carry the 10 essentials. However, the 10 essentials are for those things that you can't predict or don't predict, with which you may have to react to, such as first aid and loss of communication or navigation, or maybe you take a wrong turn on a poorly marked section of trail, what have you. And so I don't slack pack because, again, one, it was a goal of mine, and two, I think carrying the 10 essentials is that important. And so I do have the 10 essentials with me in my pack, and I will carry them with me throughout my Thru-Hike. So there you go. For those that do slack pack, that is your decision, and I don't look down upon anyone for that decision. Again, we all get the same achievement when we reach Mount Katahdin, regardless of how little or how much weight we carry. And so it's a personal decision, and if that's someone's decision, I respect it. But my decision is I don't slack pack. So I hope this was helpful to you, or at least insightful. Thanks. I'm gonna get back on with my hike. Everyone, we are on the top of Warner Hill. Counts as a 2,000 footer, but we've been hovering around 2,000 feet for about the last 12 miles since yesterday. It's a wooded summit, but it does offer a few glimpses of a view. Really easy climb. In the distance, you can see Mount Greylock. That is where we're headed tomorrow. It's a 3,000 footer. We're gonna go up and over that. First things first, we got to get to Dalton today. Well, everybody, we are making our final descent, if you will, into the town of Dalton. The trail has been very smooth today. Well, everyone, welcome to Dalton, Massachusetts, a designated trail town. As you can see by the white blazes, the trail follows right through the town, and it's nice to see houses that are kind of adorned with trail information as well. So here very shortly, we will make our stop to leave the trail to go into the town of Dalton. While I'm here, I'm going to resupply. Tomorrow, I will be hiking 24 miles and going up and over Mount Greylock, which is the tallest peak in Massachusetts, a 3,000 footer. And that will carry me into North Adams. So we're gonna get rain the next 2 nights. And on the 3rd day, it's supposed to rain all day. So my next destination looks like it will be North Adams, so that I can get in out of the rain, and I will probably take a 0 there if that forecast holds true. With these rocks and mud, lessons learned on the trail have kind of taught me sometimes it might be better just to not hike that day. It seems like every time I've fallen, it's either been because of the snow in the Smokies or the rain. And so if it does rain on this third day that's coming up, I will likely take a zero. So in the meantime, I'll complete a 3-day resupply while I'm here. I'll be staying at the Shamrock Inn, and can't wait to get some lunch here very shortly, and maybe even something nice to eat for my birthday dinner. The East Branch of the Housatonic River. All right, everybody. The AT continues through the town of Dalton. We are going to come down Main Street, head towards the Shamrock Inn, find a place for lunch along the way, and figure out resupply.